What gear are they in now, though? Because usually heading into game 2, they have a deficit. Now they've got a game advantage. So what gear are they in heading into this one?
I'll say they were in game 1. They were in 3rd gear. You know, I still feel like there were a few opportunities that they had to be able to make plays in the first 15 minutes that they didn't take. But we'll see if it's 4th or 5th gear from now on. Before we get into it, of course, we got to hear from EGB.
Prepare for battle.
I like what I see.
What gear is it going to be for Spirit? And I guess the question's still there as well for Hydra. What are they going to be kickstarting themselves off with this second game? Odds from EGB very much favoring Spirit heading into this one. We saw prior.
Look at the drawing on the map, by the way. They're drawing to like wrap behind this twin gate to potentially catch someone. Maybe looking to place up an observer ward here for the full-on wrapper, and they actually placed their own just in case they did go for that early outnumber. Of course, we know how important it is for them to be able to get this Visage off to a good start, but they haven't run into anyone just yet. Vision, even from the tier 2 tower, not going to spot them out.
I do it, my folks. I'll save the tier 2, my friend. It's a good place to be. It's a nice home. It's safe. That's the main thing. Alright.
Don't think they got a glimpse of them just yet, even with that observer ward placed down by Maposhka previously. But means that they're able to dodge out. No level 1 ganks happening here. Cloud, I don't think, is in too much danger unless they overcommit and maybe they can make a turnaround, but that's not the case. So I've been waiting to see a bit more of the Chen, and I'm happy that Maposhka's picked it up. You know, I still feel like this is a really strong hero. You're able to get a ton of net worth off of it. Looks like he's pretty much already decided that Cloud's going an Octarine, it seems, with this item build, or is that just a Aghanim Scepter? It looks like the Ags, okay. After the Arcane Boots and a Vanguard, just to make sure that he can stay in this lane. Pretty good Crimson Guard game as well, going up against the Chen and the Visage Familiars.
Yeah, very good Crimson game. See that with the mid lane matchup. Plus was another Spirit hero prior into the Batrider. See how Lala's going to be able to perform this time though. Was Warwick had definitely a good start to the lane, but I would say the Void Spirit is slightly worse than the Ember into the Batrider. Very intrigued on what the skill build is going to be out of Lal though.
Just with like how deep you need to commit to be able to secure those range creeps that we see mid lane. He's already got 8 napalm charges, 9, one more right click.
Have played your part.
Oops.
Give him the tips, team. There we go. Pump him up a little bit.
Hype him up. Come on, guys.
Yeah, gotta be feeling the mojo a little bit, you know?
Where's the hype squad? I'm expecting more. This your mid laner just styling out here. Thank you with first blood. You know, give me one tip.
Yeah, they're focused on the side lanes, you know, that's all right. It's a big deal for them to potentially take this win because, you know, we were mentioning before, Hydra, after this series, all they've got left is Bet Boom, and they are looking basically unstoppable. Haven't dropped a single game, let alone a single series this tour. Alright, gone for another one again on Lyle. Be a little careful, just the 4 napalm stacks, but he's going to be bullied out of the lane. Our side is that plenty of water runes for Warwick to be able to take advantage of, and Lyle, I think he's just getting... No, he's actually getting boots delivered. Just wanting to play off the back of the magic stick as opposed to the bottle. That just means that Warwick is going to be able to pick that second one up and be plenty healthy to continue the harass onto this mid lane.
Does he go for it? Go for it, son. Come on, Warwick.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Well, no, it'll be a voice line this time. So TP's going to be back up near more top lane. Mirror should be able to get rid of Happy. Soul Assumption from afar from Collapse. So at least his top lane's going okay. Meanwhile, bottom though. Do want to mention with that peculiar wraparound we saw from Hydra, I didn't notice until now, they actually blocked up that small camp down by the bottom outpost. And Maposhka tried to unblock the camp, but he didn't completely scout it out with his own sentry. So Dive's still blocking it, which is going to slow down a a little bit of the farming. Well, meanwhile, Maposhka's actually stuck on a high ground. So, yeah, not a place you want to be in.
He'll know to not go there again. Up against Lil, probably one of the cheekier position fours. We also, I mean, we kind of have to mention that as well, right? We've got a Rubik just playing behind enemy lines a little bit. Of course, Cloud still having an okay time in this lane. The one thing I'm a little surprised about is how much Collapse is getting out of this top lane. You know, CM Nagasaran is not a weak lane by any means, but he's already opened up like a almost 400 net worth lead over the Naga. And Happy, of course, dying previously as well. Some of the positioning coming through from Team Spirit's been incredibly solid that you haven't been able to get the... Look at Mira just going in fearlessly as well. They've got the Frostbite, they've got the Blood Grenade. They might even get Kami.
They will. Another round of the Soul Assumption. Now Collapse going to turn to Happy as well. Got enough men up. Not going to have enough charges though. Now with the poor creep wave, Happy turns it back around. I mean, he's loving life, dude. All the solo experience for the Crystal Maiden.
He's a happy boy.
He's a happy boy indeed.
Plenty of regen coming out to him as well. Actually, he's giving it over to the Nagasaran, but he doesn't have enough item slots to carry all of it. That's how just farmed he got off the back of that.
Oh, in the river, Warwick just ran down low once he got the water in to force him to TP out. Wanted a high five, and now he knows there's no TP,
No
so
TP.
what are you gonna do?
No dissimulate either.
What are you gonna do? Easy kill for Mr. Warwick, and he's not gonna die as well because he's got 6 to work with again. 3 solo kills. Warwick is balling out of control. Had an incredible game 1 of the Ember, and he's mirroring that this game with the Batrider. But even better, I mean, last game he didn't get 3 solo kills. This time he has.
Such an individual skilled player though, isn't he? Like it's going to be on him to be able to set up for this Nagasaran, considering she is having a little bit of a rougher time in that top side, but Happy was actually able to unblock that camp, so now he's got a little bit more of this equilibrium to be able to play around with. Lab's actually going for the Phylactery on the Visage, so really looking to get that quick pick-off style. I mean, playing with Mira, you've got so much magic damage to be able to play around with, and, you know, if you're able to amp up the both the Phylactery damage as well as the Soul Assumption just off the back of the proximity binds, basically anyone can die in a quick burst.
Yeah, I think from what I've seen, really the team and the player in particular that brought the Visage back recently was 33, and I'm pretty sure the build is the Phylactery into the Solar Crest, so we'll see if that's a route Collapse wants to go. Could definitely free up the item build then for Mira and Maposhka if they don't have to build the Solar Crest. Oh, dude. Lyle needs some brothers. Like, this is another dive. Now, Warwick's got level 6 as well. He didn't actually level up the lasso, but even with Mira, it even not matter. Lyle's praying that he get the illusion of find the spell, and that might be enough to help him get the kill before he dies, but not to be dominating for Warwick. 4 deaths for Lyle, and pretty much you can say bye-bye to him having a good game.
It's not exactly easy for the Void Spirit to be able to make things up, is it? At least he got that 1 point into the Dissimulate to be able to reposition himself. Give him time to be able to move over closer towards Mira, but I mean, I'm assuming that that's part of what they're pinging out. You know, Techies being missing means that Collapse might be in a little bit of trouble, but the plus side is he's got plenty of stats for himself. I don't want to say diadem, I'm not sure, but that plus the magic wand and the iron branches as a universal hero. I mean, I think that's the big part of what 33 was trying to make work, right? Just doesn't matter what hero it is, if it's universal, it's going to scale into the late game. Maybe not Wind Ranger, but everyone other than that.
Wind Ranger can scale? What do you mean? Hang on, I didn't know you were slacks. What do you mean, come on. Wind Ranger scales.
Useless, man. It's useless.
Alright, you are a hater. What? We found another one. We found him. The Wind Ranger hater.
I wasn't hiding.
I remember.
I've been here the entire time. Is useless. That and Earthshake. Earthshake is not useless, but you got to be the right player to do it. And if Sumail can't make it work, then no one can.
What, Wind Ranger?
Yeah, he lost today.
It's not all about the king. Emperor Jumail. Some other boys that are able to play it incredibly well. Come on now.
Name them.
I also name they're passing me at the moment. I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to give them too much.
Funny that.
I wanted to surprise people, you know. Random Wind Ranger gets pulled out. They're like, oh shit, what the hell? This is balling out late game. It'll be a surprise for everyone. I don't want to ruin it.
Bring out the Meepo if you're just going to pick a win range, you know? At least that's entertaining and there's some novelty to it.
Where are my Meepos? I mean, we didn't... I don't even know how many we got at the major. I don't even know if I think we might have. But...
I think Execration played it a couple of times.
Man, I thought we were going to get it a couple more times than that, but apparently not. So we'll see what happens when we get towards the international stage again. I mean, Dream League's not too long away, so with all those teams there. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of talk heading into that with the potential for people to play Meepo, and we just didn't see it. So maybe not as strong as what people were expecting, but that's okay. That'll come at... Honestly, I hope there doesn't come a time where Meepo's strong, because... he's kind of like, he's not a fun hero to verse in pubs, because all of a sudden you just run into Meepo spammers, and it's those games can end too fast. Watching Meepo games are a snooze fest as well. It's like
they're the same
games.
level as like Tinker games. Yeah. I don't think Meepo games are a snooze fest. Arc Warden games are a snooze fest, and Tinker, it's like you can't do anything against them. I think there's counters to Meepo for sure.
That's the nice thing. At least there's the ways to address it. I see an Arc Warden, dude. My God, my internal reaction. I might not say it. I might not maybe it'll come up on my face, but
it does come up on your face. As someone that's cast with you for a few years now, it's very palpable the hatred that you have for this hero.
Just a F-word boring hero. God damn it, man. What do you like? It's coming me to a 60-minute game. I love 60-minute games, but I don't like first 40 minutes just be...
You don't like Deuce into Arc Warden and no one's able to take any towers?
No, at least I know that's happened a couple times over in China recently. I heard Extreme have been picking up, so at least we're not covering that. So yeah, this game we're not gonna have a snooze fest. Like we've got some playmaking, although the playmaking from Spirit, it's
gonna be hidden.
Where is it with Lal having a bad start? Like, so what do you actually do on Spirit? Like, we've got some time to speak about it. With him being 0 and 4, what is now the kind of the game plan for Spirit through the first, let's say, 20 minutes for them without the Void having a good game?
Is it more about like what's the recovery look like for him, or for the actual team entirely?
I guess they kind of work together in a way.
Yeah.
Let's just say,
you need to enable him just to not die solo consistently, and for them that's as simple as getting up to level 6. I really don't think you're in a position to make any sort of ganks happen towards Warwick, so if that means that the supports need to help him in the lane a little bit, go for it. It's weird, right? Because you want him to get solo experience, but you also don't want him to be dived and solo killed, right? So
yeah,
I think you still need to back Lal in, because the thing is, they're still farming relatively decently on the supports, even on Team Spirit. You know, Miposhka, he's in the jungle on this Chen. At level 3, you could basically just spam out that Penitence off cooldown, and you're going to have the mana regen to be able to sustain that. He's also got level 2 Holy Persuasion, so you can have 2 creeps, he can start to build that up, and he can start to assist with putting pressure onto the map. Like, maybe if he hits, I don't know, level 5 with the Wisdom Rune, you can look to join up together with the Visage, with the Phylactery completed and the level 6, and then take a tower, right? Force the Batrider to move elsewhere to try and respond to it. Void Spirit's probably not going to be a part of that, but you're going to be strong enough on the supports to be able to make it work.
Okay. I was going to suggest, could we see a potential for the Void Spirit to rotate down bottom with level 6? Seems like there's going to be an easier lane to gank.
That's my thing. He's trying to get to level 6. That's the issue.
But when he does, because he will get there, like you said, it's just really a question of how long it's going to take for him to get there. But when he does hit that level 6, it seems like bottom could be a potential to rotate. I mean, Morphling has a decent chunk of damage early on. Chen's going to hopefully get some good creeps as well to be able to fight with. So, I mean, that could potentially be the lane to gain. Because I don't know if you get kills top into the Naga. Like, that seems like it's going to be more than an okay lane.
I mean, they've got a good amount of magic damage, though, to be able to take out Naga, right? As long as they can identify the real one, and Techi's Blast-Off is a pretty great way to do that, right? As long as Naga illusions are all in place, the real one's going to take more damage than the rest.
Speaking of the Naga illusions, holy crap.
Yeah, this is what I was thinking with this lane. This is what I was expecting to see all throughout. You know, now it's overtaken, but even the fact that Collapse was able to get, you know, a 200-300 net worth lead at the very beginning was a little surprising, but this is back to business as normal, pretty much. As Happy looking to maybe try and yoink away that Wisdom Rune, but Mira not going to let it happen. Oh, they're actually giving it to Lyle. Look at that. They gave Lyle the Wisdom Rune just so that he would get a little bit of that extra experience, but it's just the level 1 one, so he's only going to get about half a level off of that.
Radiant's middle tower.
On the plus side is that you've got the Siege Creep, which gives quite a lot. Actually, even just using the Purge Creep as well to slow down Warwick a little bit from the Chen, keeping that parked in the mid lane. It really is just distracting to get him up to this level 6. And doesn't seem like the tower should take too much damage, and with Firefly wearing off, Lyle can breathe a sigh of relief. So I like the fact that they've chained this up. He's got the level 6 now. You can maybe leave him in the lane, but maybe you do make this rotation up towards the top side.
You need to though, because Collapse once again is in trouble. You can't leave him by himself. Listen, Archie Crystal made him. He's going to be in a lot of trouble. Mira's going to try and jump in. Lyle's going to be here with a double astral step as well, and that is what he needs to be able to find an angle back into this game. Unfortunately for Collapse, no, that'll be a worthwhile trade though for Lyle. He's licking his lips, but Collapse unfortunately has to pay the price.
I mean, yeah, that's just a snowball effect, right, of the very start of the game. Probably if you were a little bit healthier, Lil is just honing in onto Yatoro. Of course, he's currently pretty agi-morphed, but look at that. The sentry just covering the edge of the observer playstyle. But he was fighting up against a Vul assassin as well, so if he tried to go for that attribute shift, it wouldn't have worked out too well for him.
Warwick's got an invis. What's the play going to be? Oh, beautiful start with the telekinesis. Nicely done. Lil knew that he had the instant stun from afar, where Warwick, well, he would have had to reveal himself, so Lil starts, and then, of course, the follow-up's going to be there. And that was really the one lane that was actually going well for Spirit, and now you're going to be able to slow down your Toro.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Man's been doing it on the Rubik ever since, what, 2015, 2016? When he was at the very top of the Dota world, and you know, you lose some things, a little bit of reaction speed, but you don't lose that innate ability to dominate on one of your more signature heroes.
Very deep attempt from Team Spirit. Let's see if they're going to have to damage before the rotations come out. And again, another kill is going to go the way with Lyle nearby, but Happy, oh my lord, the frostbite damage. Not enough to get the kill though. Nice micro out of Collapse, stops the ultimate.
Warwick wants the cleanup.
Still in a lot of danger. Warwick should be able to get the vision though. Lyle's going to try and TP out. Warwick, can he get any of them? Oh no.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Alright. I love this from Lyle. This, okay.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
This dude's
attack.
got, yeah, I think it's an incredible Midas. This dude's got some balls to go Midas when he's was 0 and 4. I think this is a really awesome choice. Like, what items was going to help him at this stage of the game? Just go Midas. Scale into the late game. Void Spirit loves levels, loves attack speed now with all his damage. And I think it's a great item for him to be able to catch up. I really like this decision.
I want to see like where the pings come out on the map as soon as he reveals and shows that he's got a Midas, because that means that, again, like you said, you're playing for the late game. Lil might still die off the back of this. Mira ends up being the one to get the kill, but like, who actually stands in front of towers now is my concern, right? Like, who's going to be able to stop a lot of this from happening? I feel like Hydra are in a position where they just need to up the tempo. They need to keep running at this Visage. They need to, you know, keep putting pressure, playing around these siege creeps as much as possible. You've got a double damage and a Boots of Travel on Warwick. This is the time to make full use out of them.
Radiant's bottom tower.
I'm just going to run into Mirror inside the jungle. Lil's even going to try and TP him. Spirit, they're starting to bring some of the extra numbers towards Techi's location, just in case if it's required, but let's see what the defense is going to be like for Hydra. Do they just want to give this tower up for free?
Seems like they're respecting Hydra reaction potential. Of course, you do have level 7 now on the Visage. You've got the Phylactery. You've got almost level... Actually, Miposhka does have a level 6 now, along with Mira, so There's a lot of burst damage potential, and again, I kind of still feel like they want to be hunting Kami. They'll be able to see him playing up on this top side, and well, the one thing revealing a little bit more about his positioning is that he's got a Kobold following him with that prospecting aura to just provide him that little bit of extra...
Did you see that?
Yeah,
oh, no.
Poor guy died.
Yeah, it's the golem throw.
Yeah.
Why did it target him and not Naga? Come on, dude. Warwick?
Poor guy. Dodged
The mark, same with the jumping as well. Beautiful sidestep and out the freezing field low. He'll get some distance away. He's able to reposition. Meanwhile, Happy's in a lot of trouble as well with all the summons just chasing down the Chen and chasing down the Crystal Maiden. In the end, Spirit get the kill and they get out as well. They are doing a very good job to recover Lao's game. He's only 500 behind. The Void Spirit is not looking too bad at all.
Going into a few of those like extra value items as well, right? Just a bracer, just a casual bracer for a little bit of that extra regeneration. Of course, they buffed up the damage that it provides as well. He's a universal hero, so feels totally fine to me. And he's even just looking to go now into that Echo Saber to stay out on the map. So horrible start to the game, but he's starting to recover. A little surprised that they didn't even get a single kill there with the freezing field being dropped and the lasso.
That truck help.
Was that on Miposhka? Did he use like the Sadia Banisher Purge to be able to stop some stuff from happening there?
I cannot remember. There was a lot going on in that fight.
I need to use the Hand of God to be able to protect him.
Spirit have been building some momentum, or at least maybe stopping the momentum that Hydra's had throughout some of the early game rotations from them, but still Hydra, I mean, their cores are getting a ridiculous amount of farm. Naga on top, Warwick hasn't slowed down, 6-0, almost BKB after the boot travel, and we're also going to be looking at a great Aghanim's timing out of Cloud as well, but finding for them, they're going to look to try and make a play off the back of the smoke. To top they go. See how the defense is going to set up for them.
It's going to be important that they pick this one off because, like, Yatoro is looking to play a little bit more in the lane than he has previously. He bought up a first item Lincoln Sphere just because he respects what he's going up against here. All of that instant lockdown that they can have. Who can they find? Poor Lyle, but he's going to be able to get away.
I think he's okay though because he did scan the high ground. He was actually going to step down forward. Got a glimpse of Happy though. Should be able to react accordingly. Now this is a big gap, and what they're hoping for Hydra wasn't a clean start, and in fact Mirror, the response is perfect with the blast off. Even Yatoro's going to move in with a freshly completed Lincolns. He feels strong enough to show up to some of these fights. Kami with the retreat of the song, it's going to expire. While Ko will not be able to catch up to him in the end.
Middle tower is under attack.
Again, like, once again, Miposhka didn't even commit heavily with a lot of his spells. Like, he used the mech at the very end of that fight. He still had the Hand of God available. They felt confident in being able to go for this fight, and now they've even got the Solar Crest to be able to play around with these familiars. What I was saying before with Yatoro just going into that Lincoln Sphere, you know, going up against the Beastmaster, CM, Batrider, Rubik, feels really solid, and just being able to play a little bit more present out in the lanes, and, you know, they might be able to kill you, but they're going to need to commit many heroes to be able to do it. And if you've got the supports that are as capable of farming as they do, and a Void Spirit that's got the Midas, you're going to open up so much more space for your team to be able to catch up to this Naga Siren. But, I mean, just speaking of Dream on his Naga, they don't exactly have the responses to it this game. You know, last game we saw the answer that the Juggernaut and the Solar Crests and the Blood Rage provided going up against that Medusa, but not this time around. I'm really not quite seeing what they will be able to do up against the Naga if she just continues to have a really solid game.
Our mid lane should be okay. Nice even micro from a poach Graven in the grave. To get some distance away, but now with that pick off onto the Chen, might look to try and put some pressure on the tower. I mean, especially with Warwick not having BKB. So this is a really big timing for Hydra. They're going to look to be the ones aggressive across the map. You know, up in the face of Spirit, trying to slow down their farm. While this tower is going to help out with some of the evasions. Scepter now as well for Cloud, so they're ready to go.
They are. I mean, can you see an avenue for them to, like, kill this Naga in these late game fights? To me, it really feels like it's going to be on the back of Mira. Just, using the blast off to reveal the real one, using all of that magic resistance reduction, and then you just blow him up with Lyle. Like maybe he goes E-Blade route eventually.
Any stunners? Have this one. Very good stunner. One of the best ones, in fact. Nice use of the frostbite. Max out as well. And no need to use the lasso. I mean, Naga is one of those heroes that can... Yatora? Alright, he's looking to style. Yatora's in, but like we said, lasso wasn't used to pop the Lincolns. Once it expires, he's still in some trouble, and Snare's going to hold him in to place the hand of God. Prepare some of the damage, but it's not going to be enough because all of a sudden, Hydra, they got 4 heroes here. 4 heroes to be able to get rid of Yatora. And can they consider... Yeah, I was just going to say, I mean, it's no Helm of the Overlord, but they're going to think about it and should be able to do it. It might be a slow Roche, but looks like there won't be a contest from Spirit.
Is under attack.
I mean, when you're able to just stand like this against Roshan and consistently right-click, those drums of Slum charges built up immediately. He's got 3 points in the Inner Beast as well. You've got a Naga Siren for the armor reduction. So yeah, this is a pretty simple Roshan.
So... With your Naga talk, this is a hero that does fall off as the game goes on. I mean, you'd have to say, especially Yatora Morphling, but in general, like Morphling, ultra late game, one of the scary carries, and again, Naga, like you have like a 40-minute kind of timing where you don't really shine at that stage compared to some other ones, as we also see with the EGB odds definitely favoring Hydra at the moment. I don't blame them, but we'll see what Yatora is going to be able to do itemize for it. Of course, he can opt into the Scepter route, which he is doing currently after the Mantle. Naga's able to address that though. You go for Lincolns, it's going to be able to block it against your own illusions as well, so there's definitely ways for Naga to not have to worry about that. And I know one thing you always like to mention as well, Naga's not really hear that worries too much about your attack speed getting a takeaway. Yep, some stats might be a little bit annoying, but really attack speed isn't too much of a concern.
I'm also considering, like, are there any other options that he wants to go for with this Aghanim Scepter as opposed to the Naga Siren? Like, is anything actually going to provide, like, that Naga answer?
Tower is under
not
attack.
really seeing it, you know?
Dire's bottom tower is
A lot
under
of it is
attack.
just a little too slow.
I think it's like level 25 with waveform attacks and waveform cooldown with Daedalus, and you just shred apart the illusions and just do a ridiculous amount of damage. We might not get there though. They're not going to high ground, boys.
This is the Morphling answer, right? It's what Liquid have done time after time. They've been pretty vocal about it. This is the way to be able to beat a Morphling, is just get that much more aggressive. On the plus side, Yatoro is doing a very similar thing. He's saying, you got to push me, I'm going to force you to make a hard decision. Do you come and defend this? The downside, of course, is that you're going up against a Naga with the Aegis, and that Drums of Slum as well, providing a lot of protection, but Yatoro eventually going to force out the Glyph. It's not going to be able to completely kill the creep wave, though.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I think they went about a second or two too early on that Glyph. Yep.
Can they stop any TPs? Otherwise, Yatora, yeah, they're just going to song for him. Easy
Got the Lincolns.
Bye-bye.
They got to make sure they pop it.
And they'll do so. There's going to be no escape. He'll make him waste a little bit of extra time. But no one's going to get caught out on the retreat as well. Everyone from Hydra will escape away from top. So, and then tier 3 gets claimed. Yatora did a crap load of damage into the tier 3 bottom, but... Okay, is that somewhat worth it? Like, the trades, yes, Yatora goes down, but that's 5 Hydra heroes for bottom. They didn't get a full set of barracks. You're going to be able to get the Tormentor out of Spirit. You can shove out top, farm a little bit of the jungle. It doesn't seem like the worst death.
No, it's definitely not. And even just getting the reactive taser for the techies as well, right, feels pretty good. Can now use the taser onto allies, so pretty good to be able to use against the CM with a Frostbite, against the Bat Rider with all of his damage over time, so yeah, pretty solid pickup for them. That's the sort of thing, right? You might be the position 1, but he was the only one that had the capability to make that defensive movement happen on Yatoro. If it means giving up his life, so be it.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I was just going to beat onto the tier 2 top, and well, this will go down without a glyph, so now that's another lane that's going to be under some threat of some split pushing shenanigans. And
they've even got the drums available. Still 6 charges for Happy. Does he have Boots of Bearing coming out to himself? No, a Jam actually. So just wanting to take away all of the map play that they've got left. This is effectively the last live that they have for Spirit though, so can't go too far forward. Warwick with the shield rune. Got to at least get that glyph out of them. Oh, look at Collapse. He's microing his birds to drag the waves so that they're not going to have the they're going to have backdoor
well
protection.
Well done.
这是合一啊。
These little things, man. Goddamn pro players way too good at these micro things. With age is going to be wasted.
He's just going to be basically escorting these familiars, making sure that they don't connect through to this bottom wave. But can they make one more push happen on this bottom side? I kind of feel like they do. It's 40 seconds.
Dude, that
they've got.
Sorry, man, that micro from class is just crazy. He just Delta split away, then got another drop. Warwick didn't even get any of the birds. Wasted more time to try and kill it off.
Lyle killed all the creeps in the wave as well, so now you won't have this Aegis. But Poshka even making a little bit of pushes.
This'll come in handy.
Okay.
This is a game of cat and
alternates,
mouse right
Kami.
now. Okay. You're thinking the song, maybe?
I thought maybe getting range for the instant.
这是合一啊。
Just out of range for him, but I'm at 5,000 net worth lead. Age is about to expire. I feel like you're very happy with Spirit with how much you've been able to stall out this high ground push that we were expecting to come out from Hydra and what was looking like a very dangerous proposition for them to defend into, but not to be. Now they're going to be taking a fresh 5-on-5 fight with no advantage on Dire.
Dire's courier.
It's not like
has
Naga
been
gets
killed.
like weaker though in the next 15 minutes.
No, not at all.
Sucks having the
Radiant's
Octarine
middle
taken
tower
away
has
though.
fallen.
Right,
Radiant's courier
having
has
that one
been
removed. They're
killed.
trying to get a quick pick off onto Yatoro, but they're going to need to once again be perfect with their chain control.
Oh
as soon
no!
as they...
Oh no! Warwick can't get okay. No, he's okay.
Radiant's top
I
barracks
was
are
gonna say
under
that's a
attack.
disaster with that waveform location, but he's okay. No way to cancel the Lincolns from the Barrett, so he gets out.
That truck out.
I'd say, like, okay, maybe it's a little dramatic for me to say, but like, this will be one of the best victories that Spirit have if they're able to get it. Just in terms of like how far they would have come from, in my opinion, like losing the draft, not having answers to the Naga Siren, delaying the push, stalling out these waves. You know, Lyle having a pretty abysmal start to the game. And if they're still able to get the win, that's going to give them so much confidence leading into the second half of the tour.
They are a little bit split though. Cloud and Kami are going to be cautious about running up this high ground without all the boys.
Oh, they're so clubbed. I was thinking that
they
would be
want
the
it out.
perfect song of the Siren.
Radiant's top barracks are under attack.
Juicy creep wave for Lyle down bottom, but it's going to give up a free set of barracks, it looks like, top lane.
It's one of those ones where you gotta let it go.
Has fallen.
You can stall, you can stall, you can stall, but if you've got multiple lanes pushing in, there's only so much that you can look to do against it. No huge items coming up soon.
Juice the mantle.
Lane's already gone. Not worth continuing to commit there. I mean, this is kind of why I was wanting the Tide Hunter instead of the Visage, right? In the draft, because this probably doesn't happen if you've got a Tide Hunter. You know, Lasso, not going to drag you back. CM, not going to hold you in place. Even just the Primal Roar, but... Well, Collapse still did do a lot in that laning stage. It's just that it really hasn't felt like they've had the potential to be able to leave their... Not even their half of the map, like their third of the map, with the exception of Yatoro, for the last 5 minutes.
With that being said, though, like I don't think we got to see the true potential of the Visage with how poor the early game Lyle had. Like he could not be active at all. Still, it has to be said, like he's going to be a real big threat as this game goes on, especially if he gets a nullifier before they lose a big next fight. But I agree, I would have liked the tie, but I think just with the Visage, we couldn't see his true power with no mid laner to pair with him. Song from Kami, pretty close to the base. They're gonna start to TP him from Spirit. They might be too late to protect Collapse. Burn away his health pool. And now they're gonna easy plus one as well as Mira puts himself
Radiant's
on
middle
a silver platter. Warwick won't say no to that one.
I think I was dead.
Lyle just doing his best to try and shove in, but it's only every 15 or so seconds that he can look to make that happen. Mira just looking to play a little bit more on the back lines now, throw out those sticky bombs as much as he can, but there really isn't a reason for them to back off right now. Those drops of Slum are just beating, sounding the death of Team Spirit in this game number 2. Even the Naga Siren with the level 15 going to have the extra mirror image damage. Doesn't even need to necessarily prioritize the strength just because of how unbeatable he is.
Just not gonna be able to and it means there's going to be no extra damage until the waveform comes out. Cloud's able to reposition accordingly. They're repairing all the damage that was dealt prior in that attempt, and they might go back up. Like you said, that's a dieback on Mira, so it's going to be a 4v5 defense.
I mean, Kami's got heart. He knows that he's got plenty of regen to be able to play around with as he continues to push into this phase. The top lane pushed in far enough that backdoor's not going to be removed.
Perfect lasso as well. They should be able to blow him up as a header guard. Going to be enough to keep Lyle alive to dissimulate the last second. Lyle will live. Spirit though, can they still hit back? The damage isn't there just yet from Yatoro. Crimson Pipe, so sustainable thanks to Cloud.
Having a little bit of trouble dealing with this melee racks. I'm sure it's frustrating them to no end, and you've got a techies coming back up in 15 seconds, so you know, maybe if Mira's able to get that wrap around, land the blast off onto 5, could get that initiation coming through from Lyle.
It's just scary.
That turnaround it is. Gotta be careful about not popping up too much.
Let's see what the call is going to be from Hydra. Now we're 5-on-5. Mira's back here. Big thing is just got the Lotus Orb as well to maybe enable Lyle to get the jump in. Defense again is going to be reapplied. Hydra don't want to leave though.
This is their home now. Protection's kicked in once again, but execution.
The damage on the Warwick. BKB is going to be activated. The turn though, Yatoro held in place thanks to the roar. The lasso as well for the extra little bit on top. And
What a
now
song.
they've got the song to reset and they are all clumped up. What's the call going to be? No buyback for Yatoro. There's nothing they can do to protect him. Lyle is going to jump over the top and get the kill to Happy, but he almost sacrifices his own life and potentially baits her to a dangerous position as Lil still snipes him on the back line, and they're going to be able to find the mega creeps. It took them a while. They were beating onto that high ground. A very long siege from Hydra, but finally it'll pay off massively for them. Mega creeps soon on the cards, and I don't know if Spirit have the heroes to be able to go up against this.
I don't think they had the heroes at the start of the drop, to be honest. They're trying their absolute best to keep this backdoor protection alive, but they will not. Another drag back onto the techies. It's not going to be alive for the next 45 seconds, and yeah, this is just a anti-Morphling draft executed to perfection. We were both a little perplexed at going for the first phase Morphling. You know, if it's a good Morphling game, late game, fine, but I just feel like there's enough answers to it in terms of the fast pace that teams were able to go with, especially if Warwick had the game like he did.
Stay live long enough not to be the roar out. A little bit too late, but the hand of God, G's had dropped. They wanted one last fight. Lyle brought out the Deso, but the respawn just took a little bit too long from him. And Warwick, take a bow, my friend. What a performance. He backed it up as well. Game 1, he wasn't able to find the victory off that Ember Spirit performance, but now he'll be rewarded. What a Batrider game from him. Just absolutely obliterated Lyle in the mid game, sorry, in the mid lane, and he continued that on through the entirety of this game as well.
10-0 and 9.